In 1995, Rob Stenson joined his brother Art Stenson's company, Batco Manufacturing, as vice president. Gary Anderson joined Batco as GM, and in 1996, with sales growing, they established Ag Growth Industries, now Ag Growth International, as a holding company.
Ag Growth is a world-leading manufacturer of grain handling, storage, and conditioning equipment. We sell to farmers, we sell to big corporations, and everything in between. Rob was an entrepreneur at heart, saw the opportunity in front of him, a very fragmented market. You know, he was very excited about the product his brother Art had developed with the Batco belt conveyor, and Rob didn't hesitate. You know, he started thinking right away, and Rob always thought 5-10 years out.
Just one evening we were kicking around ideas, and we started talking about the junior capital pools that were springing up in Calgary on the Alberta Stock Exchange. My brother-in-law had been doing quite a few of those on his own. And so, you know, the light came on with Rob right away then, was that that's exactly what we'll do. We'll form a junior capital pool, and we'll go out and acquire some other companies that are in a similar circumstance. And so we put a business plan together, and off to Calgary we went, and we knocked on doors and knocked on doors, and everybody said no to us. They thought we were crazy. So after a couple of days of that, we had the delivery truck, and I said to Rob, we got to get home, we got to make some deliveries, so we're going to make payroll. And he said, well, you go ahead. He said, I'll stay behind, I'll come home on the bus in a day or two. I'll keep knocking on doors, and that's exactly how Rob was. A couple of days later, he came home and he'd made contact with a group that had a JCP ready to go that allowed us to invest into it so that we could be part of it. The company was called Ultra Capital, and then we changed its name to the reverse takeover of Batco. So Art and Rob's shares then flowed into the new entity, and we were off to the races.
So in 1998, our first acquisition was Wheatheart Manufacturing in Saskatoon. A family that the Stensons knew were the vendors of that company, and at that time we were a very small company on the Alberta Stock Exchange. Wheatheart got us some distribution, it gave us some scale, but we were still very small. It was in the year 2000 where we bought Westfield Industries in Manitoba that changed everything for us.
So it took a lot of financial engineering, which of course Rob was extremely talented at doing. In 2004, we needed an exit strategy for the private equity people out of Vancouver. And so obviously we couldn't afford ourselves to pay them out. So we went on to the Toronto Stock Exchange to get an exit strategy. It's been a very good vehicle for us. We've done 9 acquisitions since being public with the Toronto Exchange. We've got a very strong following of investors in Toronto and in other parts of Canada, in the US. When I look back at Rob's contribution, obviously it was all the financial engineering and entrepreneurial drive that he brought to the table. Never giving up on anything. The connection with people that he's left with the team, and we're very conscious of that culture, and do whatever we can, even as we're growing quite a bit larger again, to maintain that entrepreneurial spirit.
At Rob's wake, after his passing, you know, the variety of people that attended, from old friends from high school, the kind of biker types, through investment bankers from Toronto, and everything in between. You know, Rob was a highly personable individual. Everybody loved Rob, and that also contributed to his success, I believe, as a business person, but as an individual, he's an exceptional guy.
Honoring the memory of Rob Stenson with the 2014 CME Pioneer Award.